In this laboratory in the north of the archipelago, scientists study marine animals, not plastic, at least in theory.
I have no idea what that is, but it's certainly plastic.
Jessica Perelman is a biologist. Accustomed to finding plastic in fish stomachs, she has started a very unique collection.
Occasionally we'll find plastic bags, and this was all coiled up in the stomach when I found it. And I had no idea what it was until I unfolded it and just...
How did you react when you find this in the stomach?
I was shocked. I started, documenting it and measuring it, taking photos, showing whoever else was around in the lab, and we were just, shocked to think that these fish are really ingesting this. I mean...
To her disbelief, the scientist has found plastic in an unlikely specimen known as the lancet fish. The young researcher was not expecting such a surprising discovery when she began her work on this species.
These fish live at a depth of about 200 to 1,400 meters, and they're clearly, coming in contact with plastic, and it appears that plastic is truly a deeper problem than we might have imagined.
Even swimming at these depths, the lancet fish manages to swallow trivial plastic objects.
I mean, occasionally you might find a brand name such as this Dasani bottle label.
What is this?
So this is a label from a water bottle, a Dasani bottle clearly, and found amongst the lancet fish stomach.
Is it a famous brand, Dasani?
Dasani, yeah. Dasani is a pretty well-known bottled water company. Finding labels such as this in the stomachs makes it then easy to determine where it may have originated.
There's always more to things than just what you see. And Dasani is much more than just water in a bottle.
In fact, Dasani is one of the world's best-selling bottled water brands. And if you're not familiar with Dasani, you will certainly know the name of the group behind it, the Coca-Cola Company.
Taste the feeling.
Everyone knows Coca-Cola, but not everyone necessarily knows that the group is in charge of dozens of other brands. Dasani is part of the Coca-Cola Company, and Sprite too. There is also Minute Maid, Powerade, and of course Fanta, one of the company's flagship brands. Every year, the group sells more than 120 billion bottles across the globe. That's almost 4,000 bottles a second, and this mass production is creating a devastating mass pollution. In January 2018, the multinational made a bold announcement. By 2030, the brand is promising a world without waste. And it's James Quincey, Coca-Cola's CEO, who is leading the movement.
What we need to create is the circular economy. We need to create value for that. It's absolutely doable.
A world without waste, thanks to unlimited plastic recycling. But how reliable are the promises of this multinational? Can recycling really make this problem go away? With plastic becoming a global catastrophe, we investigated the company's promises and uncovered a secret strategy which contradicts their convincing pledges.
On a l'impression que vous jouez double jeu.
C'est pas un double jeu si ça ne reflète pas notre politique aujourd'hui.
For decades, the multinational has been aware of the damage that its plastic bottles are capable of causing, but responsibility has never appeared to fall on them.
What is the reason behind this?
Because ultimately it means higher costs for them.
In Africa, far from the soda giant's American headquarters, we are going to expose the truth behind the so-called recycling economy that Coke is trying to promote.
Nimesema ni hii pamoja na hizi. Yeah. Hii sipati ya kujitosheleza isipokuwa na mahitaji yangu yale lazima tu.
Come on, one last drink for the road. Welcome to the wonderful world of the plastic promises of the Coca-Cola Company. Coca-Cola and plastic have a long-standing relationship, and one that is full of surprises. To find out more, we travelled to the United States to meet a man who is well informed on the subject. He lives in this small house in Virginia.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Bart.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Sandrine.
Welcome to Virginia.
Thank you. It's difficult to find.
I know. Well, I hope the drive was good.
Yeah,
well, come on
great.
in. Come on in.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bart Elmore is a historian. He's the author of a book about Coca-Cola. A bestseller, it retraces the multinational's entire environmental strategy, particularly from the 60s onwards, when plastic began to revolutionize consumer society.
We began to see massive amounts of litter piling up around the country. Coca-Cola tried to respond to this. Wow, we're getting blamed for all this aluminum waste and all this, ultimately, plastic waste. What do? And one of the things they did was partner with an organization called Keep America Beautiful. When you hear Keep America Beautiful, you think like, wow, this sounds like an organization started by a bunch of kind of bearded environmentalists, or at least that's what I thought. Because you see this sign everywhere in the United States. It's still a very present organization. But it was founded, surprisingly, by the beverage, brewing, and canning and packaging industries, right? The idea was that let's tell consumers, they're the bad ones, they're the litter bugs, they're throwing this away. Industry shouldn't be blamed for all of this waste.
And so this Native American, looking like a character from an old Western, makes the Keep America Beautiful a huge success.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country.
And this guy throws, in his car, he throws this packaging waste down at his feet, and this great cameraman, lifts the camera up towards the crying Indian's face, and there's a tear. And this narrator comes on the screen and says,
people start pollution, people can stop it.
People start pollution. People can stop it, right? And it's this message of consumers are the problem, right? Not us industry, but consumers are.
Since the success of this advert in the US in the 70s, Keep America Beautiful has branched out. Now there are organizations throughout the world designed using the exact same model and always backed by the company with the red and white logo. To understand how Coca-Cola is recycling its reliable old consumer guilt technique, we have to go to Versailles, not to the chateau, but to an event that is being held at the town hall. It is an important conference with several elected officials from all over Europe. They're here to speak about the cleanliness of their towns, and it's serious stuff. They're even discussing the color of their trash cans.
L'Allemagne avait peint ses corbeilles en orange fluo. Tout le simple fait d'avoir rendu les corbeilles visibles avait permis une meilleure utilisation.
To conclude the meeting, the guest of honor makes a speech. This time, it's the director of Keep Scotland Beautiful, an association partly financed by Coca-Cola, like Keep America Beautiful. And it seems Derek Robertson is a fan of soda. Listen closely. Some of his slip-ups are extremely telling.
I have the great privilege of working for an organisation in Scotland and also in part of the European one that gives a shit, I was going to say, but doesn't care. We do care, and we want to try and change the behaviour of individuals. We want people to start thinking about civic pride, the personal responsibilities that they should take.
Emphasising individual rather than collective responsibility, clearly nothing has changed since the advertisement of the Native American crime.
I've seen that you were drinking Coca-Cola this morning. Is a single-use bottle plastic a problem today?
Plastic and plastic packaging has a very useful function in society, and we need to remember that. The products are very creative, they are very, very useful, and they obviously perform a function that's important. It's how we, again, as individuals, dispose of these packages. So Coca-Cola, for example, want their packaging back. They want to be able to get it back and recycle it and reuse it. What we don't want is in the environment.
According to the head of an association which claims to fight against pollution, Coca-Cola is supposedly the example to follow. But does he admit to being financed by the American multinational? We asked the question a few minutes later.
Who is financing your charity?
Nobody finances a charity.
Nobody finances your charity?
What do you want to do here?
I don't know. I mean, I'm asking you. These are legitimate journalist questions.
Right, so my organisation in Scotland is my day job, OK? I'm fundamentally full-time committed to that role. I volunteer my time, OK?
By asking the finance question, we have identified a touchy subject, the conflict of interests.
You spoke of conflict of interest. Do you think there is a conflict of interest?
No, I didn't. I said to you, I think you were trying to create an issue about a conflict of interest there. That's what I think you were trying to do there.
Do you think there is one?
No.
Who your sponsors are?
I don't have sponsors. Again, it's a different model, and I'm not about to start explaining how charities...
Is it that a secret or...?
No, you can go and look at our accounts if you want to see what it says.
Who are they?
We don't have sponsors, and I work in partnership with the Scottish Government, with Scottish municipalities, and they hire our expertise.
And some companies?
And some companies, yeah.
Like?
How long would you want? Loads of them. Coca-Cola, H&M, McDonald's, Wrigley's, Starbucks. Lots of big brand names.
We had to insist. Since the 60s, Coca-Cola has been paving the way for other multinationals. But what if the soda giant really had decided to change? A few months ago, upon launching its program for a world without waste, the company announced a set of very ambitious measures to resolve the plastic pollution problem. For Coca-Cola, the solution is recycling. The concept is simple: collect used bottles to make new ones out of them. Coca-Cola promises to put 50% recycled plastic in its bottles by 2030, and that's on a global scale.